Alright, cool, we live. We are live. Well, I'm live. I don't know about we. But anyway, just some shit that I need to like really talk about. Cause this is horse shit. I'm just not gonna lie. Okay, first off, Nintendo's being Nintendo. We already know this shit. They've been on the bullshit for the long. They've been trying to kill Melee since they found out that there was competitive Melee going on. Once they found out that we were, running tournaments and shit, they've been trying to destroy us. They've been doing this shit since fucking Brawl. So I'm not even surprised. I'm not. That's not even the fucking shit that's pissing me off. What's pissing me off is that people are still regurgitating the same shit. It's like, okay, Nintendo's preventing us from playing tournaments now because of a modification of an emulator. Not even Melee itself, an emulator. You can't even, you have to have Melee to even play fucking Slippy online to begin with, and they're trying to block the shit. Now, there's been legal cases where it's been argued, that if you have the original copy of the game, emulating it is not illegal. We all have original copies of Melee. You can't sit here and say that these professional players don't have original copies of Melee. But then again, though, I could be wrong about all this shit. What's pissing me off is the whole debacle still about this COVID bullshit. Still. I've been talking about this for months now, and I keep repeating myself, but no one wants to fucking listen. So I'm just going to show some receipts and then explain what's really going on. I've been saying this for the fucking longest. People, no disrespect to this man's channel or anyone else's channel, but you got Hungry Box, Leffen, this guy, a lot of other top professionals, lay it on me. These dudes, regurgitating the same shit. Well, we won't be able to play Melee for another couple years, and if by the time that Melee does come back and we can play in person, the game will be dead. So we need Slippy, right? Let me break some shit down to you guys, okay? I've been saying this shit for the longest. They're not trying to go back to normal. They're not. They don't give a fuck. We got all kind of fucking evidence that suggests that these lockdowns don't do shit, and we're really killing ourselves over a fucking virus that's 99, with a 99% survival rate, okay? You don't want to fucking believe me. Let's look at this shit right here. Okay? The U.S. Center for Disease Control, okay, has released an update on their research on the fatality rate associated with COVID-19. CDC first posted this May the 20th, 2020. This shit has been made public for that fucking long. Okay? This has been updated. September the 10th, from August 8th, yada yada. Quick summary. They're giving a summary. Now, I've been going all through this shit. A lot of the deaths that's been going on have been fabricated. Okay? A lot of this shit, like they're mixing pneumonia and influenza with the shit. But anyway, let's get to the point. Survival rates. Age 0 to 19, you have a 99.97% chance of survival. 20 to 49, you have a 99.98% chance of survival. 50 to 69, you have a 99.5%. It's when you reach 70 that it becomes 94%. So, once again, unless you have an underlying condition, or you're already fucking sick, or already have an issue in your body, you don't have shit to fucking worry about. Okay? Like even a healthy 70-year-old is gonna be just fine from this shit. They'll shake this shit off. But we're still hiding in our houses. We won't even fucking do an in-person tournament because it's a super spreader event. I'm according to these fucking numbers, it wouldn't fucking matter if it did spread. There's a lot of you that had COVID already and don't even fucking know it. You're not showing symptoms. You've been infected. You're not showing symptoms. Your body already got, antibodies to fight the shit. But no, And we're still discussing deaths, even though the deaths has already been shown to be fabricated. People getting shot in the head have been counted as, COVID-19 deaths. Come on, bro. Like you, I'll get the links. I'll put the links to the CDC and shit, the Q&As, the all of that shit. Okay, so yeah, we're hiding our asses indoors, waiting for a vaccine. Even though they're saying that the vaccine has side effects. Even though I've been saying this shit was gonna happen. If you rush a fucking product, you're going to have fucking, issues with it. And Fauci himself was saying that even after the vaccine comes out, we're still going to have to lock down and wear our mask. But back to the melee. Because you're like, why am I still upset about this if I keep saying this? It's because nobody's listening. You keep getting into the propaganda. People really out here believing that if you get diagnosed with COVID, that's a death sentence or some shit. Like you're just going to be bedridden in the hospital the moment that they say you have COVID. And then what's fucked up is that we have so many new rising cases in COVID, but we don't have any more cases in the flu and the colds. As a matter of fact, some people are wondering this shit. Daily Mail. Has COVID killed off the flu? Experts pose the intriguing question as influenza cases nosedive 98% across the globe. Like, really? And these, what the fuck, man? There's a lot of pop-ups and ads and shit in this. But you get what I'm saying. So these guys want to lock you down, and this is why people say that COVID don't exist. Because you had a rise in one thing, and then you have a nosedive in something else. But they both carry the same symptoms. That's why there's people who say that COVID don't exist. There's a lot of folk who died of pneumonia, but was marked as COVID. This shit's been going around all over the place. And then, what's fucked up is that as soon as flu season hit, that's when the cases start spiking. Oh, we have more cases. Cases are rising. Cases are rising. It's the fucking winter. And after looking at the CDC shit, they're counting, deaths involving COVID-19 and pneumonia, excluding influenza, including influenza. Come on, bro. I wanted to find the shit separate, what's COVID, what wasn't COVID, but they're combining all this shit. You got what the fuck? So yeah, but they still trying to lock you down though. You got 99% survival rate, but they're locking you down. They got you hopped up in your house. So to compensate, we're playing fucking Melee on an emulator with, some laggy ass internet. That's my experience. And now Nintendo's trying to stop that shit from happening because they're a fucking business that want fucking control. Okay, so the government's trying to control you, and now Nintendo's trying to control you. Whoop-de-doo. Like, you know, if you grew some fucking balls and just ran a damn in-person tournament, you wouldn't be, you know, worried about shit like this. Nintendo saying, oh, you can't use Slippy, so we'll run a tournament at home. It ain't like anyone's gonna fucking die. They're enforcing these masks and shit. The masks don't work. The masks do not work. Been saying this shit. You don't believe me? Here's another source. This one's from Firefox. Let me pull that shit up. From Firefox. Why masks don't work. And these is charts from all over the fucking world. Okay? When masks were required, and people were like, people will take this shit and be like, alright, the mask works. And then it starts to spike. Cases per million. Germany, right here is when they required mask. Then it went up. Required mask, still went up. Cases still shooting up. Still going up. Belgium, Italy. Like, yeah, black. Mask required versus no mask required. This is European COVID cases. Okay? Two different, like, this is just two sources I just found on the spot before I booted up my fucking OBS. But there's multiple other studies. Even the CDC themselves had a fucking study that stated that the masks do not work. They don't make a fucking difference at all. Like, what are you... You're getting mad at people. Oh, you're not wearing your mask. You're not listening. You're not... You know, they got the propaganda, all the celebrities. Oh, you know, wearing a mask is a sign of love and affection for your fellow people and shit. Your mask ain't doing shit, bro. They stop spit droplets. Congratulations. You're not blocking the virus. It's not gonna stop you from breathing in the virus. People still get sick wearing these fucking masks. As a matter of fact, when a nurse wears these masks, it's always in controlled environment. Okay? If these masks were that damn effective when dealing with an outbreak like Ebola or something, they wouldn't be wearing those hazmat suits. They'd be wearing these masks. But no, the masks don't do shit. Okay? And then, you know, but it's hard to find shit like this. What you find online is shit like this. CNN, you know, you got this nurse talking about COVID cases. Matter of fact, let's fucking listen to it real quick. And I'm gonna tell you why this chick was bullshitting.
The worst place in the country for coronavirus this morning is South Dakota. It's experiencing record cases, deaths, and hospital levels. The positivity rate there is the highest in the nation at almost 60%. The state has taken a hands-off approach to public health protocols recommended by the CDC. Back in July, President Trump hosted an Independence Day celebration, as you can see on your screen. This was in a packed amphitheater at Mount Rushmore. A month later, nearly 500,000 bikers flooded into the town of Sturgis for an annual motorcycle rally. South Dakota's Republican Governor, Kristi Noem, supported both events and refuses to issue public safety directives, such as wearing masks.
All right, we already said that the masks don't do fucking shit. We've already said that. So, okay, didn't enforce masks. You're upset that people are getting together. You're making it fucking political as shit. Let's keep it going. Oh, by the way, that these election numbers are not accurate either. But I'm not finna talk about the election. That by itself could be his own fucking 3-hour video.
She said a couple of weeks ago at a Trump rally.
The only reason you know who I am today is because the liberals have been busy kicking me in the head for all the decisions I've made for my people in South Dakota.
Yeah.
We invited Governor
The decision
Noem
to not be an authoritarian government, essentially. Now I'm gonna skip to this nurse because the story was fabricated, and I got an article that shows it was fabricated. But we're just gonna listen to what she's saying because this is what they're telling people, and this is what people keep regurgitating.
We invited Governor Nome to join us.
Fuck advertisements. I don't need any fucking diamonds.
But here to describe what she's seeing on the front lines in South Dakota is Jody Doring. She's a registered nurse who has called the coronavirus crisis in her state, quote, a horror movie that never ends. Nurse Doring, thank you so much for being here. When I read some of your tweets, my jaw dropped. You said that even now, that the hospital is being overrun with COVID patients. They come in, they're horribly ill, they're gasping for breath.
Okay, the hospitals are not being overran with COVID patients. Oh my gosh. Okay, the point of the fucking lockdown was to not overwhelm the hospitals to begin with. So what they did was they set the restrictions and they kept the hospitals empty. People who needed cancer surgery, you know, heart problems, all that shit, you were not allowed in the hospital. Okay? They were saving those beds for COVID patients. And the majority of the hospitals ended up fucking empty. Okay? And then you ended up with people who had real issues fucking dying in their homes. Alright? I had a friend who couldn't even get, you know, cancer treatment because of these COVID restrictions. People couldn't even go in to see her because of these fucking COVID restrictions. When she did go to the hospital. Even now. So you're talking about all this shit. And what's fucked up is that when people die of one thing, they count it as COVID because they found a strand of COVID on them. Which is why the numbers were so damn inflated. Luckily, my friend is doing all right, and she's saying that she can get treatment now. So we see what's up. I'm really praying for her. But when nurses come out the woodworks talking shit, like a lot of bullshit, a lot of them, and like I was saying, is malpractice. Okay? They stick them on the ventilator and they leave them there to die, and they mark it as COVID and they get money for this shit. Call it conspiracy all you fucking want, but given how after Governor Cuomo forced sick patients into a nursing home, and he's getting an Emmy now, apparently, for his response, even though we're not even talking about those people who have died. Like, go back to the CDC. Where's the numbers? If you look at New York, if I can find it, I had it somewhere. New York City, which is what he's governor of, has the highest amount of numbers. It has the highest death toll. Let me see this. CDC, COVID. I'm typing with one hand, by the way. Kind of laying down on my bed. I don't want to fucking look at Arizona. Shit, man, I swear, man, sometimes shit is just hard to fucking find. Like, they got COVID data trackers. That's the Arizona Department of Health. We're not talking about Arizona. Yeah, they're talking about this was the highest amongst Black, Hispanic, and Latino Americans. Let me tell you something here. When you're stuffing people in the nursing homes, yeah, New York City, they're not gonna show it. Oh my gosh. This was February 29th to June the 1st. It's whatever. You can find it. I'll have to probably just find it later and put the shit in the description. But yeah, Cuomo has done his dirt, and they're not doing shit about it at all. But back to this nurse.
And yet they don't believe they have COVID?
Yeah, I think the hardest thing to watch is that people are still looking for something else and they want a magic answer and they don't want to believe that COVID is real. And the reason I tweeted what I did is it wasn't one particular patient, it's just a culmination of so many people. And their last dying words are, this can't be happening, it's not real. And when they should be spending time FaceTiming their families, they're filled with anger and hatred, and it just made me really sad the other night. And I just can't believe that those are going to be their last thoughts and words.
Anger and hatred towards you?
I think it's just a belief that it's not real, and nursing happens to be on the receiving end of that. And that's okay. We can take that. That's what you're there for. It's just in the bigger picture when you try to reason with people of, can I call your family, your kids, your wife, your friend, your brother? And they say no, because I'm going to be fine. And you're watching their oxygen levels, maxed out on what we call vapotherm at 100%, and their oxygen level might be 75. That's not really that compatible with life. And we know where that's going to head. And it just makes you sad and mad and frustrated. And then you know that you're just gonna come back and do it all over again. And so yeah, that's kind of where that stemmed from.
How could it not make your own head explode? They're gasping for breath. Their oxygen levels are dropping. What do they think is wrong with them?
I think people look for anything. People want it to be influenza. They want it to be pneumonia. They want it to be, we've even had people say, well, I think maybe it might be lung cancer. Something so far-fetched. And the reality...
So they wanted to be pneumonia. They wanted to be lung cancer. They wanted to be. They wanted it to be, or it really was, and she just didn't do her shit. That's the question. That's really the question. But here we go. Nurse who claimed dying COVID patients filled with anger and hate appears to have embellished story. Ain't that fucking funny? Now, this is beyond last week, but I ended up running into this article, which was fucked. Like, now, of course, people are like, well, these are conservative sources. I'm just gonna be real. I don't like some of the shit Ben Shapiro's been saying. I don't like what this guy's been saying, because a lot of them been getting it wrong too. They've been getting it wrong on both sides. But yeah. So last week, CNN host a nurse who claimed in a Twitter thread that conservatives with COVID-19, whom she claimed to be treating, were denying the disease's existence up to their dying breath. An investigation from Red State's Scott Hanzel, however, suggests the nurse embellished her claims. Okay. Reported Monday that CNN hosted registered nurse claimed conservative patients don't want to believe COVID is real. Answers belief wasn't coming from the one particular patient. It's just a culmination of so many people, right? FaceTime to families on Twitter. Just going over fucking quotes. This is her word for word claim. Which led to question the validity of her claims. At the very least, suggesting CNN did absolutely no verification before inviting her on to speak. Looked into the South Dakota coronavirus numbers and found Dorger's claims to be far-fetched. So they ran an investigation on this chick and found out that she was fucking lying. Let's just be real here. Yeah, the country has the county. Like she lives in a little town called Woonsocket, in Sanborn County. Sanborn County has just one COVID-19 death since the beginning of the pandemic. One. Fucking one. And this is according to South Dakota's COVID-19 statistics website, which provides data from all different regions of the counties in South Dakota, and the US facts.org. The death occurred in October, Hansel reported. Alright. Which would explain why she was fucking smiling. There's no way in the world you will see something horrible like death up close in person and be smiling about that shit. But what I'm getting at is, that's the type of fucking propaganda. This right here is the type of fucking propaganda that you get all over. It's all over the internet. You can go to, the YouTube main page, which is what I'm about to do, and you can keep scrolling, and you have the whole fucking shebang right here. All of this shit. Fucking propaganda. You're talking about cases update, 2 million new cases, deaths skyrocketing, the vaccine data, yada yada yada, and it's all the same fucking people. USA Today, CBS, NBC, MSNBC, same fucking people. Yeah, CNN. And these people and their jobs is to keep you afraid. That's what they're trying to do. You've seen all the fucking restrictions that's been going on when dealing with this shit. I had the Biden-Harris plan pulled up on here. I really don't even fucking want to go into it because the shit pisses me the fuck off. Essentially what they're going to do is they're going to lock you down more. They're going to force mask mandates to the point where you're not even allowed to go outside. The mask is going to be on your face in your own fucking house. Okay, they're going to spend billions of tax dollars in making a vaccine, distributing the shit. They're going to ransack factories and shit to push more of their vaccines. Like, it's stupid, okay, what they're trying to do. And then Fauci's ass, who's planning on joining them, he said he would. He's saying that these lockdowns will have to continue even after the fucking vaccine, which they're also saying has side effects. But they're making the vaccine mandatory. That's what Biden and Harris want to do. Just so you can still stay in your fucking house. So what's the fucking point? Alright? What's the point? And all of this shit is going on, and instead of looking at the facts and, looking shit up for ourselves, we just regurgitate what we're told like little sheep, and then we sit on our fucking hands. And then, while we're sitting on our fucking hands and just complying with the bullshit that they're feeding us, Nintendo pops in just conveniently, and it's like, yeah, nah, we don't want you doing this shit. And of course, they're like, well, we're in the middle of a pandemic. We can't run real tournaments. It's too dangerous. Quit being a fucking bitch. Quit being a fucking bitch. You want this shit to stop? It's time to start practicing some civil disobedience. Just saying. All this shit over a virus with a 99% survival rate according to the fucking CDC. It's right there. Look the shit up for yourself. Alright? Yeah, free melee. I mean really free melee. Not just let us use Slippy. You need to really free melee. People lost their jobs for this shit. People are homeless because of this shit. Something needs to fucking change. And it ain't going to if we just sit on our asses and keep letting them do this shit. I'm talking about the government. Peace.